Okay, so we'll finish up South America with Brazil and Mexico. Just a few more slides. We're going to talk about capoeira music and samba music. Very beautiful stuff. Brazil is the largest country in South America. The Amazon runs through the rainforests of the interior, which is separated from the coastline by the Brazilian highlands. Most urban areas in Brazil are found along the coast. The Portuguese began arriving in the 1500s, colonizing the region over the next 300 years. Mining and large plantations of sugarcane, tobacco, and other goods became staples of the economy during this period. A large number of Africans were imported as slaves to work these industries. Thus, Brazil retains a large percentage of African-descended peoples, along with European and mixed ancestry populations. One of the most famous figures in Brazil history was Getúlio Vargas, who ruled the country during much of the 1930s and 1940s. While criticized for his political tactics, he was instrumental in creating a strong sense of national unity, utilizing samba music as a unifying force. So go to track 14 on CD3 and come back. Samba comes in a variety of styles. The loud, bombastic version described in this textbook is typical of Carnival celebrations. The more sensuous samba heard in the Saudi examples also heard in Carnival, but less percussion-based. Polyrhythm, which you can hear on Chapter 10, is the underlying organizational feature of both styles. Various African-derived instruments are found, the most distinctive being the cueca, a type of friction drum where a wooden rod passes through the center of a membrane. When the rod is moved up and down, it rubs the membrane, producing a squeaking timbre commonly found in samba music. The guitar, revealing more European influence, is commonly included in samba styles. Vocal organization is typically in call and response form. Through the carnival, the response often takes a more important role than the lead voice. The lyrics of a samba song are often nationalistic, promoting the beauty of the land and its people. Many are used as vehicles for social commentary to criticize the government and other institutions, for example. The basic samba rhythm 1, 2, and 3 follows a quick 4-beat meter. The creative use of vocals and other melodic instruments enhance the syncopated feel, seemingly following their own timeline pattern. Some cultural considerations. Samba was originally associated with folk dance in which the participants stand in a circle and call each other out to the center by indicating a desire to bump bellies. The belly bump is regarded as a spiritual center, the belly button is regarded as a spiritual center of an individual with a belly bump suggesting a spiritual bond between the two dancers. Samba is most associated with carnival celebrations, a pre-Lent festival associated with Roman Catholic calendar. This festival includes a large parade in which samba schools, escolas de samba, associated with a specific number of communities, dance through the streets wearing colorful costumes to accompany of loud percussion-based music. Some schools win prizes for contests regarding music, dance, costume, etc. Carnival celebrations were largely improvisatory until the government began to organize the events into such competitions, requiring samba schools to have permits in order to perform. Such legally registered schools were offered public funds to help with the preparatory expenses and help to create the unique form of carnival celebrations known the world over. As mentioned in the previous slide, there are many samba styles. The best are samba caravanesco, which is primarily instrumental, emphasizing the bombastic percussion, as well as samba enredo, or the theme samba, which is represented by the textbook example and includes the use of polyrhythmic percussion, guitar, and singing. Another popular form is samba canto, which is largely devoid of percussion instruments, instead emphasizing singing with guitar accompaniment. Also well known as bossa nova, a popular intimate music derived from samba is today heard often association with ballroom dancing. Okay, capoeira. Go to track 15 on CD3 and come back. First impressions. The bob and weave groove is suggested by the rhythm of the berimbau, a musical bowed instrument from Africa and recreated in Brazil. The instrument and its rhythmic patterns are the main focus for dances during performance. The vocal organization is call and response, with the instrumentation following a polyrhythmic structure, both indicating a historical connection with sub-Saharan Africa, which we both studied. The berimbau is played by striking a string with a stick. This hand also holds a small rattle to add another timbre to the sound. The other hand holds the instrument as well as a small stone or coin. As the musician plays, the stone is pressed against the string in order to change the pitch, thus producing a high and a low sound. The tempo stays steady for much of the performance, but it will shift to increasing tempos as the accompanying dancers progress through their skill levels. The basic rhythm of Rambo will often change to indicate such shifts as well. Capoeira was created by runaway African and Native American slaves who fled to the Brazilian highlands from the coastline, urban areas, and interior plantations. This martial arts style is believed to have originated from African fighting techniques that emphasize the foot as their primary striking weapon. The Compe system utilizes the foot and involves many movements, such as cartwheels and handstands, to increase the power or facility of the feet for use in battle. After slavery was abolished in 1888, capoeira artists were frequently called on as bodyguards for the wealthy elite. Others formed what amounted to street gangs, which attracted the attention of authorities. Many of these gangs began to disguise their combat training by playing music instruments simultaneously. Thus, the unique fighting style was portrayed as a dance to the authorities, who were generally of European background. The basic move of Compe fighting style is known as a ginga or yinga. The dancer bobs back and forth, crossing one leg behind the other, then forward to again cross the other leg behind the other. This is the root move for many of the strikes. A complete performance generally consists of 3 sections. The cooperation sections open the dance, allowing the performers to ascertain the competitor's skill level and to work together to show the onlookers some of the more interesting pair combination moves that were formerly used in combat situations. This section is followed by a control section, in which the performers' moves are relatively slow, allowing them to work on their balance and develop body strength. The final confrontational section has a much quicker pace and is intended for the performers to practice executing the martial arts move as if in battle. Throughout the performance, the berimbau, with its distinctive timbre, acts as an oral focus for the performers and often shifts its rhythm to encourage the dancers to move to the next section. These sections are not rigid. A maestre, who often leads the music ensemble, may, for example, move the opening cooperation section straight to the competition section, or may calm the dancers in the midst of a heated battle by slowing the tempo to a control section. There are several capoeira fighting styles. A battle ends when one performer either successfully strikes a person in the chest, or if they trip them to the ground. They also win if they knock their opponent outside the ronda, the circular fighting area for performance. Okay, Mexico and the mariachi. The empires of the Aztec and the Maya were found in Mexico. While Mayan culture is quite vibrant in the Yucatan Peninsula, Chiapas state and Guatemala on Mexico's southern border, Aztec history plays a more significant role in the promotion of indigenous heritage in other parts of the country. Much of Mexico's present ancestral heritage is considered mestizo, due to its influx of Spanish in the colonial period of 16th to 19th century. As a result, many Spanish cultural traditions found alongside and blending with indigenous traditions of the country. Okay, so listen to track 16 on CD3 and come back. First impressions. Mariachi is most often a happy music played at celebratory events such as a wedding or a festival. Mariachi music is usually found in outdoor celebrations. It often accompanies dance, and performances are frequently only instrumental. The Spanish influence is evident in the use of European instruments, especially the variety of guitars used. Along with the standard-sized guitar are the vihuela, which has a high range, and the guitarron, which has a very low range. These are most often coupled with violins and trumpets. The marimba, a type of xylophone, is also commonly included in mariachi ensembles where this instrument is prevalent. The voice is usually full with an operatic vibrato and timbre. Unlike Spanish flamenco performances, vocalists found in mariachi ensembles sing with little improvisation. Melodic lines are clear, often catchy, and typically in major keys, reflecting the festive atmosphere the music is intended to enhance. A common feature of instrumental performances is the use of dynamics and tempo. There are clear-cut changes in mood when the form of the music shifts sections. Changes in meter may also occur at these points. Such changes typically correspond to dance choreography. Mexico is divided into 31 states. Most states have a unique form of regional music, often with Spanish influence. Chiapas, for example, is noted for its marimba ensembles. Jalisco in the southwestern Mexico is considered the birthplace of mariachi. Mariachi music became widely popular in the early 20th century due to its portrayal in many Western, as in cowboy genre movies, that were frequently filmed in Mexico. The wide sombreros and charro suits associated with Jalisco mariachi musicians became a stereotype of Mexican dress, an image still prevalent today. While primarily associated with Jalisco for Mexicans, mariachi has become symbolic of music throughout Mexico. Many urban areas do have mariachi music, certainly where tourism is strong. Some cities have a mariachi corner where several mariachi bands wait to be hired for evening's events. Mariachi is also used to accompany various kinds of dance, such as the maypole dance pictured. In these local contexts, the performers often do not wear the charro suits, dressing in local attire instead. Canción refers to the music with a song. There are different types of canción, best known being canción ranchera, which is considered a type of country music. Such canción ensembles usually consist of vocalists backing a mariachi band. That's all for South America.